Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier. With that being said, I thought that I would react to Lord Farquaad reacts to Markiplier reacts to Markiplier reacts to Markiplier reacts to Markiplier and reacts to me.
Mirror, mirror, show me the
video.
Hello everybody, welcome to Markiplier reacts to Markiplier reacts to Markiplier reacts to Markiplier reacts to me. So let's get. Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier and let's get right into the news. Hey guys, I'm gonna be filming my reaction to my reaction and make it all come full circle. Here we go. Hey guys, this is going to be a slightly different video than what you're used to. So I'm here, I'm just about to watch the video with you guys, and I'm ready to be inundated with emotions. So here we go. All I can say is thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. I'm always going to be grateful of what you guys. And as always, I will see you in the next That was it? Thank you guys so much for believing in me. That's not funny. Well, I guess. That's all. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Welcome. And as always, I thought that was going to be hate. God, this is so beautiful. I need to get in touch with that guy in the blue shirt. I only, what was his name? Like, hang on, let me go try to find what the Markiplier. If you're out there, and everyone else here in the video, Markiplier, Lord Farquaad. I believe that's everybody. Thank you everyone out there who's watching now for all the support that you've given me. Thanks for letting me know I actually make you laugh sometimes. Like, I hardly ever get feedback like that. Thanks again, everybody. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
again. Show me again.
It was great. So thank you everybody so much for watching. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye!